Welcome back to Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. I'm CarrieVee, your biggest fan, the person who will believe in you until you can believe in yourself, and then I'm going to keep believing you. This podcast is all things leadership, communication, confidence, clarity. It is all things life. And today we are going to dive into one of my very favorite words, which is resilience. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you know that resilience is something I love to talk about because without resilience, we don't get back up. We have to learn to be resilient. It's that thing that people love to compliment you on, usually right after life has smacked you upside the head a few times, right? They will say, "Oh my gosh, you're so resilient. How did you even get through that?" And resilience is key. It is key. Here's the truth. It isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about becoming someone new in the process. Resilience is about learning. So grab your coffee, your journal, maybe chocolate, because I don't judge. I might just have some right here next to me. You don't know. And let's talk about what it really means to bounce forward and not just back. We talk and we hear about life got me down, life hit me, life threw me down, life pushed me down. But what about bouncing forward? Because that's what really resilience really is about. Resilience isn't about the part where you got knocked down. Resilience is about the part where you got back up and you started moving forward. People love to say, wow, you really bounced back. But resilience isn't about going back to who you were. That version of you didn't have the tools to deal with it. It didn't have the scars and it didn't have the strength that you have right now. You didn't bounce back because the person you were before that life situation hit you, before that life situation knocked you down, that person doesn't exist anymore. Life's trials change us. They have to change us in one way or another. No matter how we respond to life's trials, they are going to change us. That is life. So we don't really bounce back. We don't bounce back. We bounce forward because we can't go back to the person we were. You have heard me, if you've listened to this podcast for very long, you have heard me speak of the year 2021 in my life, which undeniably has been one of the very worst years of my life as far as life knocking me down. I really felt like I couldn't get a breath with cancer diagnoses, 2 major cancer surgeries, breaking my shoulder, going through the virus a few times, finding out I have a genetic disorder, and losing my mother, dying in my arms in my living room 19 days after she was diagnosed with cancer, after my first cancer surgery. And it was a year that it changed me. It changed me profoundly. And in a lot of ways, I really didn't want to get back up and keep moving forward. I just wanted life to swallow me up. After a couple of times of getting back up and having the waves crash over me again, I really didn't want to get back up. The only thing that kept me going was resilience, to keep showing up, because resilience is growth. It's learning from the rubble and saying, okay, life, I see you. I see you, life, but I'm going to still keep getting up. So the next time you fall, don't think of reaching out for that old normal, because it's time for the next level you. You can't go back to who you were before that life trial hit you. It's impossible. You are a different person. You get to choose how that difference shows up in your life. Don't reach for the old normal, reach for a better version. So, number one is bounce forward and not back. The second point I want to make today is that vulnerability through getting knocked down is true strength. Being resilient doesn't mean you never cry. It doesn't mean you never crumble. And it certainly doesn't mean you never ask for help. It's quite the opposite. That isn't strength, that's burnout. That is burnout. Never asking for help, never crying, never crumbling. That is burnout. But true resilience comes when you let yourself feel it and then choosing to get up anyway. You don't need to fake being strong. You need to live honest. That is where your power lives. That is true resilience. Resilience is vulnerability, true strength. is admitting when you need help. True strength is admitting when you need to take a break. True strength is admitting when you are so overwhelmed that you can't move forward. That is true strength. That's vulnerable. So as I am recording this, I am in the last few days of planning for my event, Radical Empowerment Live, and there is a lot more to do. And when I look at everything that has to be done in the next few days before all these people show up in this room, it is overwhelming to me. And true resilience is me asking for help. True resilience is me saying, look, I can't do it all. And true resilience is knowing that when this event is over, I need a break. And I am taking a full day off with nothing, no videos, no recordings, no social media, no nothing. I intend to read books, read great magazines that I have. I'm behind on success magazines. Well, not behind. I'm on my own path for them, but I want to read Success Magazine and all the magazines that I have piling up with different business practices and different motivational things going on. I cannot wait to just dive into a day of cuddling with my poodles and reading, taking a day off, because I already know I need that. I cannot keep pushing at the speed that I am pushing right now. True resilience is being vulnerable enough to admit that if I keep going at this rate, I will go into burnout. Resilience is knowing when to step back and take a break. And number 3, resilience is all about building your resilience muscle. It's not something that you have or don't have. It's something you build with practice. We can all be resilient. We aren't born a resilient person or not a resilient person. That is something that we learn and we build through life. With age comes wisdom if you allow yourself to learn through the things life throws at us and you allow your resilience muscle to grow. That is what builds wisdom. I am not the same person I was 10 years ago. I'm going to be 60 in January. I'm not the same person I was when I was about to turn 50. There has been so much that has happened in the last decade, and it has made me more resilient, and it has really built my resilience muscle. It has built my faith muscle. Some things really rocked my world. I just shared some of them. There are more. When you learn, you build that resilience muscle. Every time you reframe a failure, every time you speak kindly to yourself, that's a huge one. Every time you show gratitude when things go sideways, that's a rep of building your resilience muscle. Let me say that again. Every time you reframe a failure, speak kindly to yourself, show gratitude when things go sideways, that is a resilience rep. So here's your challenge. Every single night this week, jot down one setback or one lesson that came with it. That is actually your journal prompt. I'm giving it to you a little bit early. Jot down one setback and one lesson that came with the setback, because a setback is a step up. When you let it be, you will be amazed at how strong you already are, at how much you are already growing that resilience muscle. So point 1, you're going to bounce forward and not back. Resilience is about bouncing forward, because you can't go back to the person you were. When life knocks you down, it changes you. So bounce forward. Number 2, vulnerability is your true strength. Be willing to admit when you need help. Be willing to admit when you need to slow down. And number 3 is build your resilience muscle. And you build your resilience muscle by getting back up and by reframing failure, speaking kindly to yourself, showing gratitude when things go sideways. Those are all building your resilience rep. So is getting back up when you've been knocked down. You will be amazed at how strong you are. So again, that journal prompt every single night this week, or just one, at least just one. Write down one setback that you have been through and one lesson you've learned from it, and how you can build that resilience muscle moving forward from those setbacks that you have had. We've all had them. We've all had them. So here is the takeaway. Resilience isn't about being unbreakable. Resilience is not about being unbreakable. I'm saying this right into the mic. Resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about learning how to bend with grace and rise with grit. Bend with grace and rise with grit. Get back up. Even if your face is dirty and your hands are bruised and your knees are scuffed, get back up. You have done hard things before, you will do them again, but this time you'll do it with wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of faith. You've done hard things before. You will do hard things again. And every time you do something hard, you have more wisdom, more faith, and hopefully more humor. So if this episode hit home, share it with someone who needs this reminder that they've still got it in them, because we rise stronger when we rise together. Share it. I can't wait to hear from you, and I can't wait to meet again on Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. I am your biggest fan.